Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Fishel. Welcome to bonus weather video for this Friday. Bonus weather video number 2 for the week. Isn't going to be long today. It's been a crazy day. I think everybody's sort of tired and ready to move on. I know I am. And so we're just going to talk about a couple of basic things here. So let's take a look at some definitions of some of the terms that we've heard the last couple of days, anyways. And here we go. The definition of a sustained wind is a 2-minute average of all the wind observations. So to have a 75 mile an hour sustained wind, the average of all the wind observations over a 2-minute period has to be 75. And that takes a lot if you think about it. So that's quite a rigid requirement. Now, the wind is considered to be gusting if the wind speeds vary by more than 10 knots between the peaks and the lulls. So you could even have a situation where the wind is sustained at 4, gusting to 15. As long as that difference is more than 10, it is considered to be a gust. And the wind field in a hurricane is usually, most times, not symmetrical at all, and there are several reasons for that. So let's go on ahead and take a look at this. Here's a hypothetical hurricane with its counterclockwise circulation. And the storm itself is generating 100-mile-an-hour winds on all sides. Okay, so the storm itself is rather symmetrical. However, it is embedded in a flow pattern which is carrying it from south to north. So on the east side of the system, you're adding that forward motion to the winds that are being generated by the storm already, and on the other side, those two are opposing each other. So you subtract 15 from the 100, and you get 85 there. So now the storm is, 30 miles an hour stronger on the right side than the left side. And you may also have a situation like we had the last several days where you've got a big area of high pressure to the north, and that increases the pressure gradient, or the difference in pressure between the high and the middle of the hurricane, and that may tack on 15 or 20 miles an hour to the storm. And so maybe you end up having the strongest winds on the north side of the system because of that increased pressure gradient due to the big high to the north. So again, there's always going to be inequalities, and one thing I try to stress is that even when you hear that a storm has maximum sustained winds of whatever, it does not mean that those winds extend all the way around the center. In fact, most of the observations that we actually get on land when a system makes landfall, rarely do those observations ever match the maximum sustained winds talked about in the advisory. It's not that the data is wrong from the Hurricane Center or the reconnaissance aircraft. It's just that you only have those winds in a few locations, and the chance of one of those locations coming right over an observing station is rather small. And so most times the maximum wind observed is not always up to the maximum wind that is being mentioned in the advisory. You know, the planes don't lie. I mean, that's real data out there. They're finding those winds. It's just that the chance of that particular wind location going over an observation site is usually fairly small. All right, that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed that, found it informative, and I hope you have a great weekend. Be careful. It's still raining hard out there in many areas tonight. There's still potential for flash flooding. The winds have been gusting to even 50 miles an hour around RDU, and so there may be some sporadic power outages and maybe some flying limbs and that kind of stuff. So just be careful. Things should be much quieter when you get up tomorrow morning. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll talk to you on Monday.